Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name's Kyla.
It's like, you're making fun of me? I'm making fun of you. Like, it's really embarrassing that I'm just like really embarrassed for you. Like, I'm always like, ah, God.
Today I'm bringing to you an anti-MLM reaction video. We're just going to be going through a couple of like MLM fails and just some videos that show their crazy tactics. So with that being said, I'm going to pop my Instagram up on the screen here. Go ahead and give me a follow over there if you want to connect, or if you have any MLM stories to share. I love to read your guys' stories, and I'm hoping to include some in a video that I want to make coming up on my channel. Also, please ignore if my hair looks kind of weird in this video. My straightener broke, which I'm used to straightening it now that it's short, so I had to curl it today. I'm not sure how I feel. Anyways, with all that being said, we're just going to go ahead and get right into reacting to some of these clips because some of them are pretty crazy.
Okay guys, so I was being all weird and doing weird stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna go check the mail. I just have a feeling something special is in there for me. And your girl got 2 checks in the mail. Little $100, little $340. Magic happens when you work online.
And then I'm gonna pause here and just read. I'll still have it up on the screen, but it goes by pretty fast, so I'm just gonna read what these stories say. One of them says, and what about time freedom? Imagine if you didn't have to work your 9-to-5 job. Would you just spend more time with family and friends, spending your backpacking the world, finally put all your time and energy into your #1 passion? Yeah, my passion's definitely not an MLM. Having a home-based business is a must-have nowadays. If you think that pyramid schemes aren't for you, guess what? You're in a pyramid scheme. Oh, here we go. And then it shows, obviously, pyramid. You can see it on the screen here with employees at the bottom: manager, general manager, district manager, CEO. Okay. Don't let your mindset turn down opportunities because you think your fixed income is okay. There are so many more ways to bring in an income that is triple what you're currently making. Working a 9-to-5 is what corporate America has made us believe is the key to success. I'm here to show you that's not at all correct. Now, first of all, I want to say, like, if it's not for them, I get it. Like, I don't really like a regular job either. My ideal job would be to work online as well, but actually working online or for myself or owning a business of my own, like a store or something like that, that's kind of like a dream of mine. But that's not to say that working a 9-to-5 is not okay. Like the way that she said, you think that your fixed income is okay. Well, guess what? It is okay. Like, you're allowed to not want to work online. You're allowed to want to work your 9-to-5. You're allowed to want a fixed income with benefits and with paid vacation, things like that. These are things that you don't get when you work for yourself or when you work at an MLM either. And to say that working a 9-to-5 is what corporate America has made us believe is the key to success. Success is a personal thing. So what success to me might be different to success to you, might be different to success to someone else. So to say that she's going to show us that that's not at all correct, what makes you think that you get to decide what success is to someone else? Because you don't. Some people don't want to travel that much. Some people don't care about making 3 times their income. Some people just want a modest living. Some people want to be able to clock out after 5 p.m. and not have to think about work until the next day. So it's kind of different to say that. Oh, and then we have some more income claims, pictures of her checks. So that's great.
Hi everyone, happy Saturday. I just wanted to come on here and let you all know that today's going to be a great day. You must manifest everything that you truly want in your life, and it will come to you freely. With starting my business as a few short months ago, it really has changed my life. I mean, I'm able to spend more time at home with my family. I'm able to literally do whatever I want throughout my day. I've gotten so much stuff done this week. I like to make a list of goals for my week of things I want to get done, and I was able to get all of them done before Friday, which is awesome. You know, just spending an hour or two working at home, working online, being in my PJs, going outside, working at home outside. It's awesome. And it really has been so life-changing, guys. I mean, I can't even express how much of a different person I am than I was just, you know, in October. I've changed so much. Like, my mindset is different. Was never making this much money at my corporate salary job. I don't have the stress. I don't have to set timers to get up. I don't have to fight through traffic. I don't have to cancel plans with friends because I have to work, you know, miss gatherings or birthday parties or any kind of family functions because I have to work. You know, I'm able to say, screw it, I'll come, I'll be there. It's just super awesome, you guys, and I really hope.
Oh, we got some more income claims. That's perfect. those aren't illegal or anything. Wouldn't it be great to make $10,000 a month?
Morning. So even though I think I have coronavirus, I woke up to check the mail and your girl got 3 checks.
Some more income claims, because those aren't illegal at all.
Come on here to show the money that I made in this online business to piss anybody off or brag. It's all just to show like the power of an online business and how you can truly make money from not doing anything. I mean, well, you're doing something, but I'm saying like this whole week I've been sick. I've been trying to fight off being sick and I still got paid. Wouldn't y'all want to do something just like that? I mean, it's real. I'm telling y'all, it's real. Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. So, I don't know if you know this, but 90% of people that are online on social media are just scrolling. Just looking at their news feed, looking at Instagram stories, Facebook stories, checking Twitter. And only 1% of people online are actually business and they're selling and they're, you know, promoting a product or promoting, you know, a coaching service or something like that. So can you imagine if you stop right now what you're doing, watch the webinar, it's the link in my bio, and learn how you can be a part of that 1% of people who are working online and using people's scroll time to make money for themselves. Think about it. Check it out.
Okay, I want to know where she got those numbers from. That's the last part of this clip. But how do you know that it's 1%? Like, that just seems, first of all, not accurate, because when I think about when I'm scrolling my feed, a lot of the people, now granted, it's just what I follow, but a lot of the people are like bloggers, influencers, YouTubers, people who are making money online and using those different social medias to grow their income or whatever they're following. And then also there's like a ton of brand pages. Like pretty much every brand these days, like no matter what type of company it is, has an Instagram page. And then on top of that, I'm sure there's so many Instagram users that are completely inactive as well. So I really don't think that it's just 1% of people who are doing business online. That just seems illogical and kind of impossible. So within that 90%, so what she's trying to say is that if you are in that 1% of people doing business online, that means there's 90% of people that you can like sell to or recruit, etc. Like that's kind of what she's trying to get at too, to make it seem like there is an abundance of people you can sell to. But you have to remember as well that within those people that you can sell to are going to be limited by anti-MLM. So anyone who's anti-MLM is already out, or even if people who are MLM neutral but don't really want to support, they don't have to be anti-MLM content creators to not want to support that type of business. Next up, we have people who are under, I'm pretty sure you would have to be 18 to sign up for something like this because it needs tax information, at least 16, but I would think 18. So anyone who's 18 or under, or I guess 17 and under, they're out. You have to remember that a lot of people, myself included, have more than one account. There's just a whole bunch of people that as you start to filter those out, there's less and less people that you are able to recruit to. As well, a lot of people are private accounts. They don't accept DMs from strangers, things like that. So there is a lot that comes into play with that, but that is definitely not just all people that you can go ahead and sell to easily. MLMs always want to make it seem like it's going to be super easy or like you're special for doing it, but honestly that's just not the case. There's not enough people to recruit to, and as time goes on, more and more people are becoming like anti-MLM or learning that it's not something that they want to support. This next video is from anti-MLMB. I'm gonna tag everyone whose page I get a lot of these videos from down below as well. You should definitely go follow those Instagram creators that post these videos. They're awesome. But this one is titled Monette Hun Lectures who that girl is.
A lot of people answered my quiz that you don't want to be that girl. And you know what? I get it. Because beginning of my business, I struggled with that too. I don't want to be that girl. But then who is that girl? The girl that doesn't care about what other people think? The girl that is working on herself every single day? The girl that is achieving her goals, the girl that is pushing herself and has other girls in her community and her business who are doing the same thing, a whole group doing the same thing, supporting each other, not competing against each other, with each each other every single step of the way, pushing you to be your best in not only the business, but in your life and for yourself. Show up for yourself every day. So yeah, at first I didn't want to be that girl, but I am that girl. Honestly, I'm realizing that this business was brought to me for a reason, and I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'd love to help anybody who wants to feel the way I do.
So, I want to talk about the employee mindset versus entrepreneurship mindset, right? Employee mindset is get a 9 to 5. You're in an office. You've got benefits, paid holidays, right? Cushy safety. You're guaranteed money. But for what? Your fucking time. Wasting away in an office. Okay, have fun with that. Entrepreneurial mindset is, if I can do 8 hours of work in 4 hours with an excellent opportunity, with little risk and a huge capacity for reward or return on investment, why wouldn't I do that? You know why? It's because they're scared of risk. I'm not scared of risk because I know I'm hardworking and I don't give up. And if you don't give up, you're going to get there eventually. But people are like, oh, but there's a risk. I'm going to say this once. The only risk is you never trying, you giving up, you never working hard. I guarantee you work it hard at something, whatever it is, whether it's baking, making you money, or just a hobby, you'll be great at it. The only risk is your action, what you do with it. Okay? Think about that.
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack with that one. The first bit of it was her saying about being that girl and how she must have put a poll up on her story asking people, do you want to do this or are you afraid to be that girl? And she said majority of people voted that they didn't want to be that girl. Now, when she says that girl, she is kind of referring to the way that people look at MLMers, people who are in MLM, saying that they're always like the same way. They kind of have them categorized into a specific way. She said that she is that girl and that girl is confident, not afraid of what people think, stuff like that. And you can be all of those things without being in an MLM. And if you're not confident, being in an MLM isn't going to bring you confidence that you don't have. I struggle a lot with confidence myself. Like, I'm pretty self-conscious, and on top of that, I always feel like I'm less than everyone else, which is something I'm working through. And I don't think of it as a negative thing. I just think of it as like everyone kind of has struggles, and that's one of mine. But I struggle a lot with comparison. So oftentimes with like Instagram or YouTube or things like that, I compare myself a lot. I wonder like why I don't get as many views or why maybe I don't have as many followers and things like that. But the thing is that joining into something, whether it's like a Facebook group, an MLM, whatever, is not going to make me feel better about myself, or it's not going to give me a level of confidence. So I think it's really shitty of them, like at least I know that, but I think it's really shitty of them to kind of prey on that and saying, well, if you're not confident, if you sign up for this, you'll be that girl and everyone will be like proud of you or looking up to you or wanting to be you. And that's just not true, especially when the life you're living is a lie. So none of them really have everything that they're trying to seem like they have. And that's kind of a big thing as well. Where she was almost like mocking and making fun of people who work a corporate job. That is the exact attitude that makes MLM so predatory and honestly just not nice to be in or around. So belittling people and saying that what they're doing isn't enough or that they shouldn't be proud of that or they shouldn't want that is just wrong in my eyes. So she was being super condescending, saying, oh, you're just too scared to join this business. It's almost like you're pushing someone. It's kind of like when kids are like playing and they want their friend to do something and they're like, oh, you're too chicken to do it. That's basically what she's doing. Oh, you're scared to not have your full-time income, to not have paid vacation, to not have paid sick days. No, a lot of people aren't scared of not having those things, but rather that they know that it's a smart decision. There's nothing wrong with wanting to work hard at a 9 to 5. There's nothing wrong with even not working hard and staying in your 9 to 5 and just keeping the comfort of a paycheck, paid time off, paid vacations, maternity leave, things like that. But to say that anyone who wants it is just too scared of doing anything else, you're kind of forgetting the fact that a lot of people are perfectly okay with that, or they have families to support, and it would be irresponsible to completely just ditch their income and try to make it work at something that realistically is set up for them not to be successful in. I think the way that she was going about that is super, super manipulative, and it definitely, for me, does not make me want to sign up under her. Like, I mean, I wouldn't anyways, but listening to someone talk like that definitely doesn't make me interested in signing up. I'm sure you relate to that as well. And even just the way she was talking, like, oh, you want your full-time income, you want guaranteed income. Like, she was being so condescending.
Than the person that they're under. So, bam, that just tells you right there that does have nothing to do with how much people make based on who they're under. So, there's another reason. Number 3 is that, we are an MLM. The way that it works is it doesn't matter who under your team is successful. It matters how many people you're willing to help, how hard you're willing to work, and if you do those things, then your paycheck will go up, not based off of who is under you and who is successful. So, it's so annoying because you sit here and you see all these people talk about, oh, well, that's a pyramid scheme, but they've never taken the time to actually research it. They're just looking at all the tweets and all the people that sit behind their phone screen and talk about the people that, they're jealous of or that they have something to say about because they're in network marketing. Don't listen to what other people say because it makes you look really dumb sharing that on social media because you literally don't even know what a pyramid scheme is. You're just following the lead of everyone else that wants to talk bad about people that are actually doing things with their life and being successful. The next thing is that, oh my gosh, it works is so submerged.
Okay, so that was that clip. Oh, she's so right. I'm just so jealous of her for being in her MLM, and that's why I'm doing this. I've never researched anything. I don't know what a pyramid scheme is. I don't know what any of it is. I'm so glad that she was able to tell us that. The funny thing about what she's saying, I find, is that a lot of the time I've noticed that MLMers will use that it's not a pyramid scheme, and then they'll be like, a pyramid scheme is, and then they just pause. They kind of hesitate, and they're like, well, pyramid schemes are illegal, so it's not a pyramid scheme, okay? And that's like their whole rebuttal to that. So who really hasn't done the research? That's what I want to know, because I myself have done tons of research of my own. I watch MLM content a lot just because I enjoy it. That's why I got into making this content in the first place. And I will say that a lot of it is like the most research content I've seen. The opinions come back with fact. I love a channel named Deanna Mims. I'm going to tag her down below. But she made a great video like trying the products. So she has tried a lot of them. She actually did it on live. She tried Arbonne products, and the video of that is up on her channel right now. It's hilarious, first of all, but also like their other claim is that you're crapping on the products and you never even tried them. Well, a lot of us actually have tried them. A lot of us have been in MLMs, and that's why we're speaking from a place of not only research, but also experience, which is key because we've been in it. And I mean, you don't have to go through an MLM to know that it's not good or to do the research, but I think the experience piece speaks to a lot too, because they act like we've never done this, but we have. We have walked the walk, and it was not worth it. So that's a big thing. And then her saying, oh, you're just sharing stuff that you see and you're not even doing the research and you look dumb. So for her to say, if you're reposting like anti-MLM stuff, or you're just like regurgitating what you heard, that you look dumb, I'm here to tell you that you absolutely do not. You're spreading useful information. Yes, always do your research, but at the same time, MLMs are notorious for spewing out made-up facts, saying, oh, we create the most millionaires, we sell $6 billion in a day, blah, blah, blah. They make up this absolute bullshit facts, and they just say it and expect people to believe it. And if you question it, you're negative, you're a hater. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Slight change of scenery. I'm sitting on the floor now because when I was sitting up on the bed, there was a lot of like glare on my face I noticed from the window. I hope it's not in all the clips. If it is, I'm really sorry if that was distracting. But I'm just gonna chill here on the floor. I'm gonna scoot over, pop the video up, and we will keep moving. But in case you're wondering why I'm on the floor now, that's why.
Second, and really actually think about how ridiculous it is to not want to use something or try something or do something simply because somebody else told you that they didn't like it or it didn't work or whatever. That's kind of obnoxious and it doesn't make sense. So I'm going to give you an example. Amoxicillin is an antibiotic that you can take when you get like a surgery, like you get your tonsils out, people who have pneumonia, it helps fight that bacteria. Powerful antibiotic that lots and lots of people take, and it helps them feel better. I am extremely allergic to it. I'm not going to go up to someone who has pneumonia and say, you know what, that didn't work for me. It actually gave me a rash, so you shouldn't take it because it didn't work for me. The logic doesn't make sense. So why do we take that and apply it to things like beauty products? Second, and products. But this is something we do all the time. We read reviews, we ask our friends, we look online and find fake news, and then we decide, okay, well, it didn't work for XYZ person, so I'm not even going to try it, even though it might help me, even though I've seen lots of people have really great results with it, because I'm hearing a couple people say they didn't like it, I'm not even going to try it. That's ridiculous. All I'm going to say today is be smart enough to form your own opinions about something by actually trying it out. And by trying it out, I don't mean a one-time thing. If you do not genuinely and consistently try something, whether it's a diet or a workout plan or a new product, for 90 consistent days of genuinely trying it out, you didn't actually try it. Same thing goes for this kind of business. So that's my rant for the day. On another note, the flash...
Okay. So what's ridiculous, actually, is saying that people shouldn't do their research, saying that the lawsuits that are against it are a few bad reviews. There are hundreds of bad reviews and more than a few lawsuits for hair loss caused by the products. So that's first and foremost. It's not just a couple bad reviews. It's not just a few people saying those products didn't really work for me. Lawsuits are serious matters and they should be taken seriously. Second of all, where she compares not using products that other people said didn't work for them to her allergy of amoxicillin, which is a prescribed product. First of all, completely different ballpark. You shouldn't be advising or not advising anyone to use prescribed medication unless you are their doctor, not even just a doctor, but their doctor who knows their medical history, health, and allergies. So your example is kind of flawed with that. But even still, let's say I was allergic to an ingredient in a face wash. So everyone loves it. I'm allergic to an ingredient in it. And I'm like, oh no, I don't love that. I'm actually allergic to an ingredient. I'm not telling people not to use it because I'm allergic, but there's a big difference between being allergic to a product and knowing what's causing your reaction versus hundreds of people having hair loss, scalp sores, and issues leading to lawsuits and not using the product because of that. So yeah, you can try something out. I'm also not gonna try Monate for 90 days no matter what. First of all, I like my hair too much. I don't want to ruin my hair or have it fall out. And on top of that, I'm not gonna buy 90 days worth of products from Monate, period. Because it's not just the products that I don't support, it's the whole company and it's the structure of the company, it's the people in the company like that make me not wanna try it. If it actually worked wonders for the hair and hair loss, I might actually try it if it weren't for the shitty MLM aspect. But because of that and other reasons previously mentioned like lawsuits, I'm not going to use it because I'm an informed customer and I'm not going to drop $40 on a bottle of shampoo without reading a review first. Why would I waste my money and time? There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of products on the market for hair, for skin, etc. Beauty products, as she was speaking about. Beauty is like a multi-billion-dollar industry. There are enough options that if I want to read reviews to determine which of those options I'm going to purchase, that's perfectly valid. You can't try every single thing. Literally, you do not have the lifespan long enough to try every single product, especially for 90 days. It's not possible. So how else are you going to decide what to buy? You're going to read a review. Duh. It's not that hard to understand.
I get put on so many like anti-MLM pages and blogs and blah blah blah. I mean, I don't really care. I just truly get like secondhand embarrassment that these people thrive off this stuff. Like, I'm like, you're making fun of me, I'm making fun of you. Like, it's really embarrassing that I'm just like really embarrassed for you. Like, I'm always like, God, I wonder what you look like on the keyboard. I mean, I have a good idea, but also like, you're interested hun or wannabe hater. Oh, hey, I'm gonna follow you. Okay, I'm done. If you hate someone for doing an MLM, you need to look in the mirror because it literally has nothing to do with you. And if you're that obsessed with someone who's trying to better their life, you literally have a problem and you need to seek help. SOS fast. I said I was done, but you'll know I wasn't. And to the people who say you can't make money, it's not my fault you bought a product pack and didn't want to do anything after. Yeah. If you go to the gym and you buy a membership and you never show up, you're not gonna see any results. Don't blame me because you bought a product pack and didn't want to do it. Interested, hun, or one.
A lot to unpack with that one. Something like this, it just always makes me laugh because they think that anyone who's anti-MLM is so obsessed with them. Like, I'm sorry, girlfriend. I don't know your name. I don't know who you are. I don't even know what MLM you're with because I just don't care about you at all. I'm not obsessed with you. Do I enjoy looking into MLMs? Yeah, I mean, even before I was making MLM content, it was so interesting. I have tons of friends that I actually never even told my friends about my YouTube channel when I started out because I felt kind of embarrassed making YouTube videos, and it came up on a lot of their recommended because a lot of people just like that type of content, even if they're not writing blogs, writing articles, making content. Like, you can enjoy it just for what it is. I've always liked it personally. To say that everyone who's making anti-MLM content is obsessed with you and needs to seek help, really, you know better. You know that we're not obsessed with you. You know that we don't care at all about you as a person. And in fact, we're not even hating you. I don't hate you for being in an MLM. Is it a choice that I would make for myself? Definitely not anymore. Is it a choice I did make for myself at one point? Yeah, I did. And I'm not afraid to admit that. And I'm not afraid to admit that it was a mistake for me personally. And even if I had made tons of money, looking back on it, I think it would have been a mistake just because morally I don't agree with having to recruit people into a business in order to make your money. I just don't. It's not something I personally support, but I don't hate anyone who's in an MLM at all. In fact, I have a couple of followers who message me or I see their story and stuff, and it seems like they're in MLMs, and I don't hate them. I'm not going out of my way to be rude to them. If they message me, I'll answer. Like, I'm not hateful at all. And also, I just find it interesting for her to say, I see that I'm on the blogs, I'm on the websites, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. Well, you must care a little bit if you're looking for it, because if you really were so unbothered, why would you be looking to see if you're on the blogs? Why would you be checking to see what people are saying about you? And if you feel secondhand embarrassment, that's kind of how I feel when I see people go in their story like, hey, hun, I just want to let you boss babes know that I'm accepting 6 girls to my tribe. To me, that's embarrassing. But am I going to message someone or hate on someone for what they're doing? No, I'm not. I mean, as long as you're not really causing harm, I'm going to let you live. I don't really care too much, but it's just like, it's just so funny. And I mean, honestly, like, what's cringy to one person might not be to someone else. I don't find anti-MLM content cringy at all, clearly. But do I find the hey babe messages really cringy? Yeah, especially when they forget to swap out your name and it's like, hey, insert name, blah, 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 and it's clearly a copy and paste message. That's kind of embarrassing too. But you know what, whatever, live and let live. So this video, you might have seen it shared already. It was pretty popular for a while. But it is a Beachbody coach saying that her pet peeve is people having to talk to their husband or their spouse about joining Beachbody.
I have to understand why I want to wake up at 6:15 while both of them are still sleeping upstairs to get my workout in. He doesn't need to understand that. And that kind of brings me to my next thing. One of my biggest pet peeves is when I'm talking to someone about joining my boot camp and they are like, okay, I have to ask my husband. And as soon as I hear that, I kind of go, oh boy. Oh boy. Because 9 times out of 10, unfortunately, they come back saying, my husband said no. My husband said that if I can start doing it by myself, then I can join. My husband said I don't need it. And oh my God, it makes me cringe. Because here's the thing. If it is not a financial issue, there should be no ifs, ands, or buts on whether you can do this for yourself. Do you also ask your husband permission to wipe your ass after you take a poop? Sorry, no, but you don't. Why do you need to ask permission to work on yourself? And for your husband to say no to that?
Okay, I have to pause right there. I might pause like twice during this one just because it's a slightly longer clip and there is a lot to unpack with this one. But her saying the excuse of that they have to ask their husband, he said no, he said I don't need it. First of all, I want to say that a lot of time people like to place blame on someone else just so it's less awkward. It's kind of like I remember before when I was a kid, if I'm a pretty big introvert, so if my friend was like inviting me over and maybe I didn't really want to go that day, I'd be like, oh, my mom said no, just because I didn't want to say that I don't want to. So I'd just be like, oh yeah, my mom said no, sorry. And it's just like a bit easier. It doesn't have any hurt feelings. You can kind of place the blame on someone who's outside of the situation. I would say that's pretty normal. So a lot of them might just be using that as an excuse, like, oh, sorry, you know, my partner doesn't think it's the best for me right now, so I'm gonna pass. It's just kind of a way to get rid of the situation without really just having to straight up be like, I'm not interested and I don't want to do that. But as well, her saying, oh, do you have to ask your husband to wipe your ass after you take a poop? What? Like, there's a big difference. It doesn't cost him money for me to do that. Whereas if your husband and you have joint finances and you're trying to pay $200 out of a joint account to join something that's supposed to make you money that your husband might know already is a pyramid scheme, yeah, he's going to have a couple reservations, which I think is fair. Now, she did say if it's not a financial issue, then it shouldn't be a question, but it kind of depends, because if you, let's say you know your husband has money to afford it, but he doesn't want to give you $200 to join, then he doesn't have to, unfortunately. Yeah, you might be a little upset about it, or the person who was going to be your upline might be a little upset about it. Let's keep going, hear what else she has to say.
So again, if it is not a financial issue and a husband says no, I don't want to tell you how, like, a marriage should be or whatnot, but I do know that I feel as though, in my personal opinion, that is a form of abuse where he is controlling you. And, you know, if you want to do something like this for yourself and you want to try it out, there should be no reason, financials aside, that you shouldn't be able to do it. I have never, like, asked Matt in my life for, like, big purchases. Yes, of course. We talked about the fridge before we bought it. We talked about my laptop before we bought it. That is normal marriage things. But it was, first of all, my money when I first started, and I needed a change. I did not ask Matt permission if whether or not I could do this. I was at my rope's end, and I told him after, hey, I'm doing this thing. He said, okay. You know, he didn't flip out. He wasn't like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. He has always been, like, super supportive of the things that I want to do, the things that I want to buy. So I guess I just assume that other marriages should be the same way. But anyways, I feel like I'm getting way off track of what I actually want to say here. It is not your boyfriend or husband's decision on whether or not you can take care of yourself, okay? It is your boyfriend or husband has no right to tell you that you don't fucking need it. Your husband or boyfriend has no right to control what you can and cannot do with your body and what you can and cannot do with your extra time. If you want to do this, there is a reason you want to jump in with me. There is a reason that you want to get started. So to build all of that up and get so excited and then turn to your husband and be like, can I do this, please? And him be like, no, you don't need it. That's fucking fucked up, and that's bullshit. So if it is not a financial issue, there should be absolutely no reason why you cannot do this. This is not their journey. This is your journey. This is your life. These are your feelings that you're feeling, and this is your change you want to make. So when it finally is time to make a real decision on if you're going to do this or not, why are you placing all of your eggs in your husband or boyfriend's basket on whether or not you can actually do this? Again, I understand if financials come into play. That's a whole different ballpark. If you guys cannot afford it and it's reasonable, of course, like, no is an acceptable answer for now. If you guys can't afford it right now. But if you guys are not struggling and you guys can spare that and he still says no, that's what's fucked up about it. You shouldn't have to ask permission for yourself. You're doing this for you and yourself only.
I do kind of agree with her. Now that sounds really bad, but let me explain. I agree with her in the sense that you are your own person. Ultimately, you do get to make your own decisions as long as it's not going to cause the other person a financial burden. Like if you're paying out of your own pocket, things like that, you can make your own decisions. But at the same time, for her to say that it's abuse If your partner doesn't want you to join an MLM, well, no, it's not abuse. They probably just have a moral obligation against MLMs, or they've seen the fact that everyone loses money, or they see that it starts out with a $200 purchase, but it turns into $200 every month, and then in a year, you're $2,400 in the hole with nothing to show for it. And they've seen what it can do to people in their marriages. Like there was some in the Reddit post that I reacted to a little bit ago where people were losing like almost 20-year friendships, or where people were bailing out family members for tens of thousands of dollars for their MLM. So it's understandable when given all this knowledge that someone's partner might say, no, you shouldn't join that. If my boyfriend came to me and said he wanted to join an MLM, which he wouldn't, he's kind of on the same side as I am with MLMs, where he thinks they're predatory and it's like a pyramid scheme, it's a scam, etc. But if he came to me and said, hey, I want to join Amway, Beachbody, whatever, what do you think? I would say no. I wouldn't say like, no, you can't do that, because I understand that it's up to him, but I would be like, I don't think you should. I'm not really going to support you through doing that because I don't agree with those companies. I don't think that there's a way for you to be successful. And that's just how it is, which if you go to your partner asking them their opinion or asking them if you should do something, they have a right to say that no, they don't think you should. You've asked them, you've opened the conversation. And as well, for her to say that that's abuse, I think it kind of downplays a little bit like the actual abusive relationships that some people have. Domestic violence is never something to just throw that word around. Like, I don't like when people throw the word abuse around for things that aren't, because it's something that should be taken seriously. And when people are calling anything abuse, like your partner not wanting you to join an MLM, if you're going to call that abuse, it kind of takes away from the seriousness and the weight of what that word really means to actual victims and survivors of domestic abuse and violence. So I think her attitude is part of the issue as well that I have with it, just because she's so like aggressive with the way she speaks and the way she's basically belittling mainly women in this circumstance who trust what their partners are saying or who want to take what their partners are saying. I think that it's really important that if someone is in a position like that as well, that you don't belittle them and say, oh, well, you should be able to do whatever you want. Fuck what he says, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's just not really doing it for me. Okay, so this next one that we're about to listen to is a Monet Hun compares it to a pillow. So let's listen to that.
Very stigma when it comes to purchasing from a DS company, which I don't get, because in reality, if you really sit down and look at things, it's the same thing as anybody else. It really is. When you swipe up on a blogger's 17th leopard print cardigan, they make money off of that. Like to know it makes money off of that. The company who has the cardigan for sale makes money off of that. The CEO of that company makes money off of that. You know what I mean? It makes me really want to just scratch my head.
So just before we keep moving, I just want to touch on that really quick, because a lot of MLMers love to say that it's the exact same as influencers who do affiliate marketing. I've talked before on how it's not, so I'm not going to dive super deep into affiliate marketing versus network marketing. But what I will say, a big difference to me anyways, is when I follow a blogger, first of all, I've gone to them. I've gone to them to see their recommendations. I've gone to them to see their products. I've gone to them to get whatever I want to get from their page. So first of all, I've followed them. I have signed up for what they're posting on their story and on their feed. And when I don't like it anymore, I can unfollow if I choose to. But on top of that, if they post, hey, you know, a couple of you guys have been asking where I got this. This is it. Here's my link. I make a small commission. Fine. They're not in my inbox trying to sell it to me. If every blogger that I followed would message me saying, hey, I just bought this sweater, you should get it too. Hey, I just bought this skincare, you should buy it too, here's my link. Hey, I just did this, do you want to sign up under me so you can get a discount? I would unfollow all of them. But the difference is that they post it, whoever wants it can swipe up, can get it. You can even just see where it's from, and if you don't want to support them for whatever reason, you can Google it on your own webpage and find it yourself. So there's a very big difference between those two things. It's not the same at all. The big difference is that one of them is a lot less pushy than the other.
I'm not trying to piss anybody off. I'm not trying to throw spears at people. I'm just doing a little friendly comparison. That's all. That's all I'm trying to do. Okay? And let me tell you something. If I didn't believe in the product, I wouldn't have spent the last 3.5 years of my life promoting it, because 3.5 years is a long time. That's longer than John and I have been together, I think. Oh, I should know that. If your favorite celebrity hairstylist posts about money, if your favorite blogger posts about money, whoever you idolize on social media posted about money, if it was sitting on the shelf at Target,
would you think twice about trying it? Simple question. Let's say you've heard that it has negative reviews. I would challenge you to go find something in this life that doesn't have a negative review on it. Okay? There's somebody out there who bought this pillow that I have, right? The same exact pillow. I'm sure somebody hates this pillow with all of their guts. It's just the facts. Because not everything is for everybody. Now, I love this damn pillow. I take naps on it all the time. It's the comfiest freaking thing. But somebody out there does not like this pillow. Did that stop me from buying it? No, because I love this pillow. The bigger you are, the more successful you are, there will always be a huge target on your back. Because there will be people in this lifetime who cannot stand the fact that others are successful and they are not. And rather than fixing it and doing something about it, they try to tear others down. You'll never be criticized by people who are doing more than you. You will always be criticized by people who are doing less than you. And I'll leave you with this. If an 18th of those stories were true that I'm sure that you've heard, we would not be a $1 billion company at 5 years old, almost 6, going on 6. We would not be a #1 luxury hair care company globally with a less than 1% return rate. So just think about that. And if there's anything you ever want to talk about, like I always say and preach, I'm an open book. Okay? Good night.
So we touched on the blogger bit, and then to her next point, try to find something that doesn't have a negative review. You can't. That might be true. There's always going to be a negative review on things. I mean, I work in the beauty industry myself, just in retail, and I see a lot of people return products that they either didn't use correctly or that realistically might not have worked for their skin to begin with. Especially like these days with bloggers and YouTube being so big, they will see a YouTuber say, oh my god, I love this moisturizer, say it's the best thing I've ever used. They go and they buy it and it doesn't work for them. But I mean, if the blogger that they're listening to or YouTuber, whoever has super dry skin, and they're buying a moisturizer that's meant for super dry skin, but maybe they have oily or acne prone skin, it's not really going to work for them. And then they might leave a bad review. That's fine, but there's a big difference between bad reviews and lawsuits. There's a very large gap between those two. So I'm a huge product junkie myself. I read reviews all the time, and there definitely are pretty much negative reviews on everything, even if it's something stupid like didn't like the bottle, smelled weird, didn't enjoy the color of the product, etc. and so on. It could be anything. That's fine, but it's not, this gave me sores on my scalp. This made my hair fall out.
The more successful you are, there will always be a huge target on your back. Because there will be people in this lifetime who cannot stand the fact that others are successful and they are not.
Okay, so and then where she said that if you're successful, there's going to be a huge target on your back, and the people who are less successful than you, instead of trying to be successful themselves, they're going to tear others down. That's just not accurate. I mean, yes, if you're super successful, especially if your success comes with things like power, fame, followers, anything like that, yes, there will be a target on your back for some hate. That's just part of the game. If you're super, super high up in a company, you might have people who are jealous of you. If you are a super popular YouTuber, you're going to get haters just because people like to type on their keyboard and say mean things. But you shouldn't denounce every single person who's giving you constructive criticism as just a hater who's less successful. And then as well, I feel like she kind of took a dig saying that there are people who, instead of being successful themselves, they're just going to talk about you. And I mean, there's definitely YouTubers who are out here, like myself, talking about people like this and, you know, doing their thing. Some people are making money from it on their YouTube channels or growing their Instagrams, etc. and so on. But that doesn't mean that they're not being successful for themselves. And what they're doing is they're being critical of something, which being critical of something has always been a thing. And that's always been a way for people to make money too. I mean, food critics, movie critics, people who write in papers like review columns, things like that. It's always been a thing. They all of a sudden are upset because they're the target of the criticism and they don't want to address the criticism. So take for that what you will.
One of my VIPs, love the chin strap. One of my VIPs tried to take her hair products into her salon today, and the lady was like, no, COVID. And then she went there and the lady's like, yeah, I just don't really trust those products. Like, I went to hair school. And then the girl's like, yeah, so did I. It was so awkward. Like, y'all just need to chill. It's shampoo. If someone wants to try it, let them. If your hair really falls out, then what are you fighting for? If it really falls out, then everyone will find out. So I'm not sure what you're so riled up about. Just let people try it and make their own decision.
Wow. With her saying that a girl brought Monet shampoos into her salon, the hairstylist was like, no, I'm not using those, first of all, COVID or whatever, so they're probably just not letting you use products from home, which is understandable. And then she said, I just don't really trust the products. And she's saying, well, let people try whatever they want. Okay, people can try whatever they want at home, but if I'm a hairstylist and someone comes to my salon and I want to use my products on them, that's what you're paying for, is for me to use my products on you. I'm not going to just use something unless it was like an allergy or something like that, and a hairstylist has a right to not want to use those products. Again, if you had an allergy or a real, like, valid concern with their products, or maybe like you were super gluten intolerant, which I know some shampoos and stuff have gluten, and you knew it would irritate your head and you brought something that was specific for your allergies, sure, you can do that. I mean, you can even follow up with your hairstylist or touch base with them before and let them know about that. But your hairstylist, if you just bring in a product that you just want to use, your stylist has a right to say, like, no, I'm not using that, especially if they have seen lawsuits for hair loss, because ultimately if something damages your hair, they're the ones that you're going to have to go to fix it afterwards. And then her saying, if your hair really falls out, what are you fighting for? Because everyone's going to know. Who wants to lose their hair in order to prove that a product is shit? I know I don't. I would never use Monet products in my hair personally, because I've just seen too much that even if it could work, there's tons of products out there that can work for me without risking that possibility. And then her caption on it, if your hair really falls out, let them try and tell me themselves, or have it fall out in your sink and send me a pic. Hasn't happened, won't happen. It has happened. There's literally lawsuits, but go off, sis. And this is the last one that I'm going to play. It's actually a girl talking about YouTubers and how we're just haters making content about MLMs. So this should be interesting.
YouTubers take content from Instagram pages or TikTok or whatever and upload it to deliver their own commentary and rip these people to shreds. So they don't just hate follow, they take it to the next level and try to build their brand off of someone else's content by, disproving or whatever, I don't know. So here's my 2 cents on the hate followers who do this. You will have more of an impact. You will be able to build a better brand by, instead of bashing what you don't like, share what works for you, what you love. Because really, honestly and truly, it's not helping your cause.
Okay, that is the last one I'm going to react to, but what I'll say about that one, because to me it's really funny, first of all, her saying, trust me, you'll be more successful, you'll build a better brand sharing what you do love. We can do both. I can share anti-MLM content and also pop on my Instagram and show you guys my favorite skincare, my meals that I'm eating. I do all that stuff over on my Instagram all the time, and I see tons of other MLM YouTubers doing that too. So again, to mention Deanna Mims, I see her posting sometimes about like her fitness products that she likes, or like her pre-workout that she's been really enjoying, and she can share all of what she likes and still make really helpful, useful, informative content and post it to YouTube. Secondly, a lot of us don't follow any MLM people. I know I don't myself, so I don't hate follow you. I just don't follow you at all. In fact, where I usually get my videos from are other anti-MLM creators on Instagram, again, who are tagged down below, who I can support. We have a mutual interest. We chat sometimes. I mean, they reply to my stories, I reply to their stories. We laugh together about these things. And it's really nice. It's almost like a little community of our own. So no one's hate following you. I'm really sorry if you think you're going to have extra followers from anti-MLMers, but you're just not. And for her final point as well, saying trust her that you're going to make a better brand for yourself, I don't have to listen to you about that. If you don't like me putting out my content, I'm sorry, but that's just too bad because I'm having fun with it. I'm going to keep doing it. And so are all the other anti-MLM creators. We all have fun with it. It's not about hating the people in the videos. I don't know any of these people and I don't hate any of these people. It's more so about spreading information and knowledge and even just having a little laugh at some of the things that they say, just the same as other reaction channels do. And ultimately, at the end of the day, if creating anti-MLM content is fun for you or for me, I'm going to keep doing it. Like, that's all I can say about it. I don't feel bad, and I'm not going to feel bad. I don't have to. I don't follow any of these people. I'm not actively leaving comments or hate or anything like that. I would never do that. But it's up to me what type of content I make, what type of brand that I make, and where I want my success to come from, just as it is up to them how they want their brand to be. With all that being said though, I'm going to go ahead and go. Hopefully you enjoyed this MLM fails video. If you like this type of video, leave me a like and comment down below, just because that's how I can tell what type of videos you guys enjoy. It's just by like your engagement and you letting me know. Otherwise, I don't really know if you're enjoying them or not. So I'm going to go ahead and pop my Instagram up on the screen one final time here. Please go ahead and follow me over there if you want to connect or share any of your MLM stories. Hit that subscribe if you are not subscribed already so that you can catch up on my next videos. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. But with her saying that, and now I forget what she said. I'm so forgetful. Blah, blah, blah.